Welcome to the Var Side Spurs Podcast. I'm Steve Worrell, and today we are joined by Andy Creed. How you doing, Andy?
Yeah, very well, Steve. Thank you very much.
Yeah, busy week?
Well, it's only Monday, isn't it? But you mean the whole of last week?
Yeah, since
it was quite busy. Thanks. Yeah.
Also, we're joined by a regular contributor, Stacey Manwill. How are you doing, Stace?
I'm fine, Steve. I'm fine. Thank you very much for letting me back on here again.
No problem at all. Stace, quick question, mate. What time is it you get up to go on your massive sprints that you go on in the morning? Because I think I got up yesterday and you'd already been and done 58 miles or something.
Yeah, I rode to Whitechapel and back last week. That was a bit of an eye-opener. And, that was about 70 miles in a day. It's 36 miles in from where I live. And then, my CO2 emissions are really good.
Certainly better than mine, I tell you.
Yeah.
And we are welcome today and honoured to have with us match day commentator from Spurs, Daniel Wynne. How you doing, Daniel?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks very much for having me on. Great to be here.
No, thanks for joining us. Thank you. So we've got a packed programme today. We're going to talk about West Ham, Project Restart again. We'll have a chat with you, Daniel, about various bits to do with your life and Spurs and stuff like that. And obviously then we'll look forward to Sheffield United. So we kick off, we'll start off with West Ham. So how do you think we got on, Andy?
Well, if you're reading Twitter after the game, you would have thought it was devastating. But I actually thought we played really well. I thought we had a good shape. There was a good balance to the way that we were playing. I thought in the first half we were a bit tentative, though. But what I really liked about us was our back four was keeping its line, keeping its shape, and you could see that Jose's been doing a bit of work there. And I was just very impressed throughout the whole game defensively, and I think that's something I haven't been able to say this season.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think we had a lot of control in the game. So it didn't look like we were ever going to relinquish control. I was a bit disappointed with West Ham, really, in terms of what our expectations are. It's probably one of the games that I'm most nervous about in a season, because they will always turn up. They can be
it's their cup final.
They can be exactly. They can be playing really poorly, and that when they come to turn up against us, that they will perform no matter what. Daniel, how did you see the game, Daniel? Seeing as it was obviously a different experience for you.
Yeah, well, I'm not commentating at the moment. I'm home, so it's different that I'm watching it on TV with everybody else. But I thought Aurier played well. I'm going to get loads of abuse for saying that, but he got into some great positions. All right, a couple of times his passing let him down, but he really did get forward well. A couple of crosses were spot on, and there's a player there, and I really do think he has a future with us. Totally agree with you about the shape at the back, holding up really nicely. And what's also really good to see for a change, we have a strong bench. We can change it.
Yeah.
There's pace to come on. There's attacking flair to come on. There's a bit of steel in midfield to come on as well. So, Jose has those options available to him now from the bench, which, if you look back over the last year or so, that's quite effort for Tottenham.
Yeah. You're right about that. It was reassuring, I think, see the options off the bench. Just touching on defence, as you say, both of you have said that we look really solid. And Stace, I think that's something that you wanted to talk about because you were particularly impressed with Dier, I believe.
Dier, yeah, he's very comfortable with both his feet at the back, and that's usually we play with two right footers at the back with Toby and David Sanchez, but with Eric Dier in there, who's comfortable with both feet. He gives us some stability. He's a leader as well. He's very vocal. You can hear him. Yeah. Couple that with Ben Davies as well. He's pivotal for Jose. Will play him week in, week out. He needs to stay fit. The future's bright. I think once he's got himself set, Jose, we're going to be we're going to be good. And sod West Ham anyway. I don't care about them really. They can go down as far as I'm concerned.
That's just,
Everyone
around them is losing, so they're going to survive by the skin of their teeth.
I reckon they're going to. I think they're going to get lucky by virtue of the fact that there are definitely 3 worse teams than them in the league at the moment, and I think they're all going to lose, and just by dint of the fact that everyone else is, dire to get, like, they're desperate to get out of this division. By the looks of it, I think West Ham survive. Just going back to that, your comment on Davis, I think you're right. I think he is definitely a Mourinho type player in terms of the fact that he's solid, unspectacular, but really reliable. And he won't let people down in terms of the role that he's been asked to play. In terms of that defensive, effectively it's a defensive 3. When we're in possession, it's a defensive 3, and the shape is fantastic. So and I could. It's one that you've got high hope. Ryan Sessegnon.
Yeah, Ryan Sessegnon is someone I know that everyone's got their doubts about Ryan, but I want to see him pushed up the pitch with playing in front of Ben Davis. They give him a bit more freedom because I don't think he's defending very good. And go back to Serge, I think he has a lapse in defending. When it's Serge, David, and Eric Dier, and Davis is pushing up, then that's where I get a little bit worried with him when he's defending. He's a bit rash sometimes. Maybe Jose is going to work on him and he'll be better. But the crossing, Serge's crossing is brilliant.
Very good. Yeah,
put it on a sixpence for the boys that are running. But we've only really got Harry Kane, he can get in there and header. Dele Alli can header a ball. So
Lucas can jump though, can't he? He's got quite a jump on him.
He scored against Man City, didn't he? Just came on a sub.
Yeah.
Son was unlucky with a header against Man United, one that Roy Keane thought he could have caught, right?
Yeah, he should have got that. Yeah.
Who's that fella?
Roy Keane. Let's not worry about him. But so, I mean, if you look at, we talk about Spurs and just quickly to touch on West Ham. As I say, I thought they were really disappointed. I thought Moyes brought them along to defend and frustrate rather than to take the game to us. I don't think that suited them at all, to be honest. And I wonder if that's a thing where they really play to the crowd and they need. The guy that I coach with, we talk about professional players and how it shouldn't really affect their performance. They're professionals. I mean, my team, we play with no in front of no fans each week, and if they're professional, they should just be able to get on with it. And I can't remember who was talking about. It was Ian Wright.
On Saturday.
Ian Wright and Alan Shearer saying how much of a massive deal it is. I think it's a bit of a shambles that actually professional players are saying that they can't play unless there's a massive crowd in front of them. They can't really. But it's felt like likes of Noble Noble really needs a crowd, someone to play to. You can tell that he's not a player that will just play for the sake of playing. He needs to be able to do something.
You could have left it there, Steve. When you said he's not a player that plays to the crowd, you could have left it at he's not a player.
He's not a player. He's not a player at all.
But he's the greatest player never to play for England, though, isn't he? Apparently, so
depends which side of London you come from, I suppose. I think the only person who really took my eye, I think, from West Ham was Bowen, actually, and he was the freshest player in there, and he was probably a bit of a danger. But I thought in terms of overall control, I thought we were totally in control. We totally dominated the game.
Yeah.
And
although brilliant.
He was, yeah.
And obviously he's left-footed, same as Lamela. They're both really so left-footed.
They are.
Right.
Show them the outside. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I think they could be found out, a pair of them, if a good side come up against. They just put them on their right foot all the time, and they won't know what to do. But
just going back to Noble though. At the start of the game, I think the first 10 minutes he tried to just basically try and score a goal on his own, didn't he? He was running around quite fast, and And I think he just wore himself out, didn't he? And,
He kept giving it away. He couldn't hit a barn door from 2 yards. Honestly, it was embarrassing.
Yeah, it is pretty
They'll
embarrassing.
keep playing him. They'll keep playing him as well.
Yeah.
I know my hammers,
But
mate. Like, get him. They don't want him to play.
Yeah.
You're so right, though, that they went there, or they turned up to defend.
Yeah,
and
they did.
You know, whatever we say about West Ham, and it's quite funny to watch, obviously, that's not how West Ham traditionally plays.
No, it isn't. No, that's right. Exactly.
Anyway, never mind.
Okay, so I think we've done enough talking about West Ham and talking about that game, really.
Yeah.
Because personally, I don't know about you, but I was actually quite disappointed, even though we won the game. I'd like to have been thrilled by the game, and I'd like, and it might. I don't know if this is something that is as a result of the fact that there's no fans in the ground, or
Absolutely,
it's football as like not as we recognise it. But like, because I got more out of the Man United game, even though we didn't win. I got more out of that game because it felt like more of a contest, whereas this didn't feel like as much of a contest. This felt, like some of the other games that I've seen, like in some of the German football, where the best team has controlled the game and the other team was there to sort of make the numbers up. So it was a bit disappointing. I found that a bit disappointing, but I was really pleased, obviously, that we got
I think it's going to be interesting in a couple of weeks when we play Arsenal, just to see if that's going to be dull. The Merseyside derby was awful.
Yeah.
The lack of fans, absolutely, I don't care what anyone says, plays a massive part in the spectacle of the game. And without the fans, it's not the same. I don't care what anyone says, it's not.
Well, I suppose it depends whether they bring their jesters along, Guendouzi and Louise, to provide the entertainment for us. But
I think we've got enough players within our team that will make that game interesting. Will make that game interesting. I think if Dele's playing, Dele is one of the players that appreciates what it is to play for Spurs as well, and he's got a bit of fire about him.
But he plays up to the crowd as well. He gets carried away and he gets caught up in the atmosphere, and that's what he responds to. And
he likes to be the pantomime villain, doesn't he? As well,
which is great. And some players like Ian Wright, they thrived on that.
One question is: who's the fittest player at the moment in the club who can run the furthest? Because obviously, Chris Eriksen used to be up to 13 kilometres in a match game. 13.
Yeah.
Dele covers a lot of ground.
He covers a lot of ground. Who at the moment are we looking at? Dele Alli, the next?
No, it's not Kane. Not
He's
the
an up-and-down player, and he gets.
It's probably Lo Celso, isn't it? Lo Celso or Sissoko?
Lamela.
Yeah.
Lamela. I don't think Lamela does. He goes
not for 20 minutes at a time, but I think it's Dele Alli when he plays.
I'd say Sissoko. Everyone.
Yeah.
I'd say Sissoko's probably covering.
It's got to be a midfielder, isn't it?
I ain't got the stat. I was going to ask Daniel if he knew.
I haven't got that stat. After Sissoko, he'll be shooting. Lucky he hasn't got going to the ball after he shoots, otherwise he'd be running another hour. I love Sissoko. He's a great player. Sorry, he really
scored a great goal as well. That went down. I missed that because that was the biggest cheer ever.
The way that he's responded and bounced back from, let's be honest, a pretty poor start. That takes character and guts, and
it does.
He's definitely got that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
He's a Yosho player. He'll play. I think he's probably the first name on one of the first names on his team sheet. I don't think he might frustrate people, but he'll play. He'll play.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so very quickly, just going to bring out a quick fact of the day. This is something actually that you brought to our attention, Stace, from Mike Collett on Twitter. So football MC. So I think Daniel, you picked up on this, or you were tagged in this. We were all tagged in this.
Yeah. I didn't know that, though, to be fair.
Did you know that? But the thing about this is that when I saw this fact, I kind of thought this is something that this sums us up at the moment. This is one of the things that we're hanging on to. We haven't got a lot to sing and shout about, so we're going to hold on to. So I don't know if you saw this, Andy, but